I'm often asked about technical and vocational education and training in Finland and what elements we find important and basically build excellence in TVET or VET, as we call it. Number one, we talk about anticipation. So, in order for technical and vocational education to add value, you need to add the element of anticipation. So, it needs to be valid and something that actually leads to job creation and prosperity on an individual level and also in the region where the training is taking place. Number two would be B as in breaking silos. So again, we cannot have the organizations offering VET alone and then not working with the different stakeholders in the area. So breaking silos between working life and organizations is very important and an element of Finnish vocational education and training. Then if we look at the outcomes, of course, we have to evaluate it through C as in competence. You need competence, of course, of staff. So the teachers, everybody in the system has to be up to date with what is going on in their sector. But of course, that's a reflection on the competence of the graduates. So are they at industry standards in professional skills, but also looking at lifelong learning skills, skill sets as in digital, sustainable, and everything that will build the future of the region where these people are living. Then we need diversity. So in Finland, we don't really believe in a one-size-fits-all model. We have a range of different ways to deliver vocational education and training. So it's not school-based only, and it's not the dual system, but it's really a hybrid system. So something that will allow for what we call individual paths. So each student will actually have their own learning journey, and no two necessarily look exactly alike, although we do have, of course, a national curriculum and learning outcomes that the system and the different qualifications are based on. Then what is really important is that it's not about just training people for jobs, but it's really creating jobs. So entrepreneurship is always a part of Finnish vocational education and training. And then there is flexibility, because we have to remember that people come from very different backgrounds. In Finnish vocational education and training, our learners are between, let's say, the age groups of 16 to even up to 60 years old. So we really believe in lifelong learning. But that also means that they have a very different skill set. Some are there to reskill, some are there to upskill, and we have to have that built into the system for it to, again, have good outcomes. Then if we look at vocational education as a part of the education system, the grassroots development is very important so that we feel that we're empowered to develop the system. It's not top down or bottom up, but it's really working together. And we do believe in hacking the system. So piloting and trying different approaches is very important for the holistic development of the vocational system in Finland. And that brings us down to the 3 I's: innovation, image, and impact. So without innovation, vocational education and training will remain something in the past, not looking towards the future. And that has a lot to do with the image. Because in Finland, actually, it has a very good image. And about 50% of the age cohort of the young people apply to vocational education as their number one choice. And also a lot of adult learners come to vocational education to take courses in entrepreneurship, in management, leadership, design, you name it. There are pathways for everybody, and it offers different variety depending on where you are in your life and what you need. And of course, that brings us to the last I, which is impact. So the system itself needs to add value if it's going to be something that's a part of a dynamic education system. But that's pretty much what we've boiled it down to. So the elements of excellence in technical and vocational education and training.